Hello there. It's time for Most Things Kenobi. I prefer all things Kenobi, but I suppose that's not the Jedi way. As long as it's not all things Anakin.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Most Things Kenobi, a podcast about Obi-Wan Kenobi and all things Star Wars. I'm your host, Lauren.
And I'm your host, Leanne.
Are you ready for some more Kenobi?
I am.
I'm so ready.
We're getting hyped. It's the last episode before the reviews of the Kenobi show begin.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we're like a week away at this point. And I'm
so excited. I'm nervous. I'm thrilled. What's that meme where it's like, I am completely terrified, but also turned on. Like,
Yes.
That's how I feel.
It's so true. All the Vanity Fair pictures came out today, and it's just like girl boner everywhere.
Absolutely everywhere. I don't know what turns me on more. Seeing Ewan McGregor with a lightsaber and that damn robe, or fucking Hayden Christensen.
I know.
Holding a lightsaber with a cape. I can't. I'm dead. I'm dead.
That was so good. You sent that to me in a text, and I just stopped what I was doing. It was just like, oh my.
And somebody already put it together. They had a picture of him, Hayden, holding the lightsaber with his knee out, like bent knee out. Mm-hmm. And it's exactly the same pose that Vader has with Luke in their duel.
Oh, nice.
And it's like right down to the knee crook, you know, like I'm just like, oh my God.
If that's the level of detail we're going to get
right
in this show, then it is going to be fucking good.
I can't even stand that we are on the precipice, people. The precipice, we are here. We're looking over the cavern and we are going to jump into just ecstasy next week.
Yeah, this is one of our high points. Everyone, savor it. It's before we've been disappointed by anything. We're all just still happy and excited. This is good shit right now. Live in the moment.
I'm ready. I'm super ready.
Well, but speaking of,
yes,
we have a little caveat, I guess. I don't know, a little warning.
A small disclaimer.
Yeah, disclaimer.
Yeah, a warning. Okay. Me and you just.
Yeah, we're just.
Yes, a disclaimer. Yes,
we're
a warning.
Vibing off each other.
I love us.
Me too.
But yes, the caveat. Do you want to deliver the caveat?
I think you should. You explained it better to me.
Oh, okay. Well, damn if this isn't terrible timing for the Kenobi show to come out. Because as we all know, it was originally supposed to be on a Wednesday. Then they moved it to Friday, and they're doing double episodes. Well, Lauren is going to be at Celebration with just about everybody else except me.
Without my partner in crime.
I know. I'll be there in spirit.
Next year, for sure.
For sure. And at the same time that Lauren is at Celebration, I will be vacationing in Canada. So because of that, we're going to be cutting it real close with getting an episode out when we usually do on Tuesdays. We are going to issue it on Tuesday the following Tuesday after the first two episodes come out, but it might not be as early as we usually issue it.
Yeah, because we're both arriving home on Monday.
Yeah.
Recording, and then we got to edit it and get it out and get all the pieces in place, which it might happen or it might be the next morning, depending on how things go. As long as no flights are canceled for me.
Oh, I know.
And as long as you're or are you flying also?
Nope, I'm driving. Yep.
Hopefully all our travel plans go well and Mercury in retrograde will be over shortly thereafter.
Listen here, Mercury. You've already fucked with us enough this past week.
Seriously, it's only been going on a few days and things have been rough.
What is this? Like, I don't put much stock into it. But
no, but
seriously, though.
Things do
This past week has been ridiculous. Yeah. Totally weird. Anyway. Forgive us if we leave a few more, excitable screeches in our next episode because we're on a time crunch to get it out to you beautiful people. And on the same note, thank you to our patrons.
Yes.
Holy cow.
Oh my gosh. Already we have a dozen patrons and I'm just
climbing.
Yes. My jaw is on the floor. I'm amazed and just so humbled and so grateful for all of you.
Yeah, the support is The outpouring is really humbling, and we've already been giving you guys goodies, and we hope to continue that. We will continue that. So thank you so much for joining in on all the fun. I hope it's been great so far.
Well, and you picked up a few goodies at the Star Cruiser. I'll pick up some goodies at Celebration. We'll have a little giveaway.
I have goodies from Galaxy's Edge, too.
Oh, you do?
So, Star Cruiser, Galaxy's Edge. Oh, yeah, goodies. Goodies abound.
So,
yes.
Yeah, if you're not on our Patreon, head on over there. We have lots of great content for you guys, and we are producing it, as much as possible at a speed we can sustain.
Yeah, and the goodies to come for our patrons only, the giveaways there are going to be pretty epic. So
yeah, it's going to be fun.
We got some Obi-Wan shit to talk about today before we talk about more Obi-Wan shit next week. I'm so excited.
This is most things Kenobi after all. It's, oh my God.
Yes.
And I love, you picked this topic and I love it. I am so excited to dive into this.
I am too. My list is ready. Today we're talking about our top 5 badass Obi-Wan Kenobi moments. And this is before we even see the Kenobi show.
Yeah.
Which we hope we're going to get 5 of our own just from the series itself.
I was going to say, I'm sure our list will grow exponentially.
We're going to have to revisit this topic.
Yes, we are. And honestly, my 5 are from like the mood I was in when I wrote my list. My list evolves depending on what mood I'm in or what I've been watching recently.
Interesting.
So,
well, why don't you go first with your number 5? We'll go from 5 to 1.
5 to
because
1.
number 1's
Okay.
my top one.
Okay.
Right?
Is
that how you did it?
Yes, that is how I did it.
Okay, good.
Of course. And I'm sure that we're going to have some overlap here.
I mean, there's a lot to choose from. Maybe we will.
Maybe.
I mean, the way we always are, you know.
Well, I do have honorable mentions, so we're going to have something somewhere.
Okay, I don't have any honorable mentions
Oh.
yet. So that's good.
Okay.
That's good.
All right.
All right.
My number 5 is landing at Point Rain.
Oh, no shit. Well, that has to be on there.
Well, yeah.
That has to be on there. I mean,
That was like one of the first times in Clone Wars where Obi-Wan is like, I don't even know how to describe it. He's a badass in other episodes, but this is where it's like everyone's life is on the line.
yeah.
And he just stands up, lights that lightsaber, doesn't
Oh,
care
it's so
how
good.
injured he is, that look on his face. It's literally like a fraction of a second. And it's so fucking good and really hot.
Really hot. And he still manages to go on and negotiate and plan and help the clones and help the rest of the Jedi to go on to complete their mission.
Yeah.
While with several broken ribs, I'm assuming.
Yeah, sitting on the ground doing it, which,
Yeah.
if he's not able to stand up, because you know him, he'll get
Yeah, he would.
thrown off a building, shot, doesn't matter. He's still doing his thing. So if he's sitting on the ground, you know he's really
You know
hurt.
it's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really hurt, but you know what? That doesn't stop him, and that's why he's badass.
Yeah.
And that's why it's sexy as hell.
Yeah. Even though it's animated, I don't care.
Doesn't matter. Guess what? Mine's an animated example for number 5, too.
Excellent. What is your number 5?
Mine is actually, I thought of Point Rain, right? Mm-hmm. Point Rain comes up in everything we do.
I know. I felt
I went-
redundant to say it, but whatever.
Oh, no, it has to be on there. So I'm glad you chose it, because I kind of deviated just slightly. And mine is from the Ryloth arc with the little girl,
Yeah.
little Numa, right?
Yep.
But it's when he's using the Force on those giant ticks,
Yes.
those monsters.
It was a tie
And he's
for
like,
me between these two
"Really?"
moments.
Yay! Is that why you're looking at me like that?
Yeah,
You're like,
it is. Because I was like, yes, girl, yes.
It's so good, though.
It's
He's
so
like
good.
using it. There's like strain on his face, and he's like, shoot the bridge,
Yes.
as he's like holding these giant creatures at bay with the Force. It's incredible.
The beasts.
And not only that, but the clones are like blown away.
I know, I love that one clone that was like incredible.
Yeah, and Cody's just kind of like, yo, this is just another
It's like,
Tuesday.
shut
for
up
us,
and get
so-
to work.
Yeah.
Basically.
He's a badass for also speaking in their native tongue at the end to little Numa.
Oh, yeah. I know. I love him.
Well, not at the end, but
Oh, well, yeah, in the middle. But he translates for the clones at the end. Yeah, I mean, like,
yeah.
he is so great in this whole episode because he's flawless the entire time, is really, like, quippy and funny. He's all full of the one-liners in this, but also just, like, kicking ass the entire time.
Yes.
It's so
And
fun.
it really makes me want like to see more of that
Me
in the
too.
Kenobi series.
Me too. And
So-
and his like he counters it in that episode too with the way he's like really sweet with Numa. So it's like he's getting shit done,
Yeah.
and then he's really sweet and gentle with the child, and like also
Yeah.
like when he covers her eyes and like tries to
I
pull
was
her
just gonna
behind
say,
him. It's so
He
cute.
shields her little eyes like, don't look.
And then
you
she
know,
like pulls
very
his hand up
paternal.
to sneak.
Yeah, I
and
know.
peek.
It's so cute.
It's so cute. I love that.
Yeah, so that's my number 5.
Very nice. So my number 4 probably deserves to be higher on the list, but this, like I said, this was the mood I was in, is
Sure.
Battle of the Heroes, but like really specifically the moment where Anakin flips over Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith and Obi-Wan just cuts off all his limbs. It's so ruthless, but shows how good he is at what he does.
The way you describe that is painful,
No,
but
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
you're
Anakin.
not wrong.
I mean, Anakin is like so powerful and so arrogant all the time.
Yes.
And Obi-Wan
Yes.
manages him in like 1 second.
Yes.
And it's awful,
Yeah.
but it's also like super
It's
badass.
very
mode.
badass.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's knowing your opponent, knowing your own skill base, and knowing how to fight anybody, basically. Like,
Yes.
military strategically position themselves in a way to receive the attack in the best manner. He
Right.
did the same thing.
Yeah.
And he knew his opponent so well. I mean, that's the part that stings, but
Yeah. That's why it's so
he ended it in like
heartbreaking.
1 second, one swipe.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, the whole rest of the duel, because they say that, like, they choreographed that duel specifically so that they were very equal. That, like, they knew each other so well that that's why they couldn't, like, gain an advantage one or the other the entire time. But it's like, is that because one or the other of them is holding back for a little bit? I mean, I don't think Anakin was holding back. He seemed pretty upset, but...
Well, you know how they say, like, using anger makes you sloppier
Well, that's
when
true.
fighting.
Yeah, for sure.
So Obi-Wan was on the defense, trying to manage Anakin, and obviously emotionally did not want to do what he ended up doing, even when push came to shove.
Yeah.
And Anakin, the minute you turn cocky is the minute you lose.
That's true. And he even verbally was cocky in that moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And Obi-Wan gave him a warning, and he still went for it. Like, forget it, Anakin. I know we all make fun of that, but he's literally telling him, if you do this, I will do this. Like,
Yeah, like,
it's not going to work.
because we've talked about in the past, like, it's the reverse of the situation he was in Phantom Menace. So he knows
Yes.
how to defend
Yes.
against the attack that he used. Mm-hmm. And he's trying to warn him, trying to say, please don't. But, my God.
The whole thing is so sad, honestly. And it's a beautiful duel, and it is badass.
It is. It's a really badass duel, which we should go into someday in more detail. But, yeah.
Oh, we will.
That's my number 4. What's your number 4?
Guess what my number 4 is? It's the very next duel when they see each other next.
Oh.
It's when Vader faces off with Obi-Wan on the Death Star and Luke and Leia and all them are watching.
I love that moment.
Now, this is the first lightsaber duel ever on screen.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that Obi-Wan is involved in the very first lightsaber duel ever, on screen ever, is like badass in and of itself. But
true.
I just think it's badass of him to, number 1, sacrifice himself for Luke, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, be content with dying. And number 3, doing it in front of his old apprentice, and all the stuff that we're going to see in the Kenobi series is leading up to this moment as well.
Right.
So we don't know how much more intense that scene is going to get after we see what goes on in the TV series.
Well, and Anakin thinks he's killing him, while Obi-Wan
Yes,
knows.
that's what I have.
Like, Obi-Wan knows that actually he's so strong in the Force that you can't actually kill him anymore, which is crazy.
This is what I wrote on my list. Choosing to die against Vader and pissing him off, letting him think he won. That's what I put on my actual paper list.
I love that.
That is the most badass fucking thing Obi-Wan's ever done.
Well,
but it's only number 4 on my list.
Well, yeah, I mean, honestly, these lists you could move any of these things
Absolutely.
to number 1, honestly, because they're all so fucking great. I heard somebody say once that, like, Anakin's fall happened because he was trying to find a way to cheat death. And then right at the
Mm-hmm.
last minute, he was trying to find a way to cheat death. And then right at the last minute, Obi-Wan knows how to cheat death. It was like,
Psych!
if he had just not listened to Palpatine at all, if he had just hung around for a little while until Qui-Gon's ghost
Yeah.
showed up, Anakin could have just learned the trick without, all of the messy stuff.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Well, that's my number 4. I know it's great, isn't it?
It's so
petty
good.
level infinity, really.
Yeah.
I live for petty.
All right, number 3.
Yes.
Back to Clone Wars for me.
Same.
It's like the tiniest moment, but oh my God, I love it.
What is it?
Season 7, when he cuts that
Okay.
fucking rocket in half that's about to hit Cody. I don't think I've ever been so turned on in my whole life.
I forgot about that.
I did
It's
too.
not on my list, but that's great.
I forgot about it until I logged on to Disney Plus, and that was like the little preview that was on right then because they were using a season 7 thing, and I was like, oh yeah, that was like that moment was.
That's a good one.
It was not enough, but it was a lot.
It was a lot in a little.
It was such a it's a fucking rocket, and it cuts it in half.
I know.
And then saves Cody's life at the same time. And then says something snippy afterwards.
Yes.
I loved it.
This is why we love Obi-Wan so much, is because he can do it all. He can do something grand like that in one tiny little move, one short little moment, and then follow it up with just a sassy comment or two.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Just casually saving everyone's life.
He can do it all.
Man of many skills. So what's your number 3?
Oh, my number 3. Back to Clone Wars. This has to be on your list. If it isn't, then at least it's on mine. Jar Kai Obi-Wan
Yeah.
in the hallway against Maul and Savage.
That's my number 2, yeah.
Ooh, okay, all right. Well, let's talk about it.
It's like the best, most epic.
It's hot.
Yeah, oh my God.
It's fucking talent. It's raw, unadulterated talent. And he does it so easily. He just picks up another lightsaber and goes for it.
I would even argue that he is that's his peak.
It is.
Because
I agree.
you never see, it's like it requires so much concentration in such a small space with so many deadly opponents.
Yes.
He literally has no room to maneuver, and the stuff he's doing is insane, and you never see anything like it before or after. I think that is probably the hardest, most demanding lightsaber duel in a mentally demanding, maybe. I suppose you could argue against that, but
It's physically demanding and emotionally, because Maul is just not any old opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's just met Savage or is vaguely familiar with him by this point. He doesn't know too much. He's still a impressive opponent because of his sheer size and his strength, right?
and he knows that he's killed at least 3 Jedi by this point.
At least. And then we have Maul and the whole emotional baggage of Qui-Gon that comes along with him, and Obi-Wan killed him once already, technically, and
Yeah.
he's back doing all this shit, and it didn't he just watch a Jedi die not long before this? So
Yeah.
he had to just step out of that fast.
Yeah.
And all of this is just so you have to have some muscle memory. You got to have just some quickness to you. It's just second nature to him, but it's so difficult to do. And he does it so effortless. I mean, there's effort being had. I mean, he's struggling.
But he's still really graceful and
very graceful.
Yeah.
And my God, I would crumble. A lesser Jedi. Lesser Jedis have crumbled.
that's true.
No offense to them.
Yeah.
But goddamn.
Yeah, it's fucking great. And especially considering he's using a different lightsaber form than he normally uses. He usually uses, what is it, Ataru or whatever it is? Or
You're the expert on
I'm
this.
sorry, Suresu, the master of Suresu. Yes.
There you go.
But he's not using that form at all there. So it's the fact that there's some quote that Mace Windu says that Obi-Wan is invincible, sort of, because of him being such a master at Suresu. He's defensive constantly and nothing can touch him.
Right.
And in this sequence, he's not using that at all. And he's still fucking amazing.
Not only that, he's like sweeping the leg and punching and diving and using the wall to jump off of. He's doing all this acrobatics and stuff to avoid and deflect. And so he's using every surface around him and every move he's got to get out of this situation and like end it with those.
Yeah.
Whether it means like escaping or killing one of them or both of them. Like, it doesn't come to that in this episode, but damn. I mean, it's badass that it's fucking animated and it looks as good as it is.
I know.
Or it looks as good as it does on screen.
It's amazing.
Like, to have all that happen animated there's a lot going on. I mean,
the detail.
Kudos to the animators.
Yeah, that show's details are just fucking mind-blowing every time.
It's so good.
I was thinking,
I love watching it too.
One time when I was watching it, because you and I both like working out and like lifting weights and such, and there was a moment where they show like him gripping both the lightsabers, and he has, he's using 2 lightsabers, but Maul and Savage are using both hands on their one, and he's having to deflect all that force with one hand each. And I was thinking like how that would hurt just your hands. Like imagine the strength in just your hands to like hold.
In your shoulders too.
Yeah, like it's crazy. And I know they have the force, but still, like you physically have to be able to maintain control.
I don't know how someone would physically do it against 2 giants like Maul and Savage. They're huge.
Yeah.
And in a hallway.
I know. With your back against the
shit
wall.
going on all around. Yeah, literally. Like, it's
know.
a lot. That's a badass moment. I mean, it's only number 3. It's your number 2.
Yeah.
But
what's your number 2 then?
Oh, number 2. Let's talk because panties are about to drop everywhere. And it's why it's number 2.
I might
on
know.
My list.
I might know what this is.
I think you might know.
That comment gave it away.
All I have to say is Attack of the Clones.
Yes, that's it.
You knew it?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, it's the sweep and stab motion. There's an entire Twitter account called the Sweeping Obi-Wan account. The GIF, where they just post that GIF of him twirling the lightsaber, gritting his teeth, and stabbing that creature.
Yes, that's on my honorable
Done.
mentions, because it has to be on here. It is an essential moment.
It is, by definition, one of the most badass things that we see ever. Because he's so in control, and it's so visible, and it's so hot.
And the hair is like into the eyes. And...
No, what is that? It's the first time that the mullet looks good. Like,
no, it's because it's not roller brushed back.
Coiffed?
It's
right. That's right.
It's falling in his eyes, which is much better.
Sweaty. It's out of control. It's great. I love all of that.
And that GIF that you and I will occasionally just text each other, like the
that's all,
deflecting back and forth.
Yes. Yeah.
Like
the whole scene, like, because a shame on you, Game of Thrones, shame if you don't like that scene. Shame.
Game of Thrones. Shame.
Oh yeah, it's a whole thing.
Okay.
If you watch Game of Thrones, there's a bell.
A shame bell?
Yeah, there's a shame bell. That's all I'll say. Yeah. Anyone who's watched the show knows the shame bell. So I'm ringing it if you don't like that scene or have looked at that GIF and said, nah, that's not cool. Get out of here.
God.
Like,
It's so badass.
I need to see Obi-Wan make that face in the Kenobi series.
Yes.
I need it. Not want, need.
That's the thing I love about Ewan's portrayal of Obi-Wan. He shows he will snarl. He'll have the anger in his face. Like, so many people think of him as fucking cinnamon bun, and he is like, it's a ruthless badass. And you can tell Ewan likes that.
Right.
He wants the character to be that way. That's his choice.
Yes. And that's badass.
Yeah. I loved that. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you
That's
had that
my
on your
number 2.
list. It's so good.
I know. Come on. It's basically what our friendship is founded on. No, it's not. But you know what I mean.
Well, that's where it started. It was our foundation. Basically. Yeah.
Yeah. So, number 2, not bad. I was going to make it number 1, but I couldn't not acknowledge what my number 1 is. So it's a nice number 2 spot for me.
It's a good one. Yeah. It came...
And your number 2 was Jar Kai, correct?
Yes. Yeah. The whole revival duel is just everything I need in my life. Yeah.
to all our listeners out there who are nodding along and screaming, yes, yes, we love you, because we can kind of hear you in the energy
right now
within this recording. Drum roll, please.
The
Number one.
All right.
What is your number one?
My number one is Duel of the Fates.
Same.
Of course. But
of course.
Very particularly just the moment between him and Maul at the end. But the whole thing is great.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep. I have killing a Sith and the same one twice. So not only does Obi-Wan, he's like the first to kill a Sith, right?
Yeah, and like
kills the same motherfucker twice.
In like 1,000 years, as a student, even his own master didn't succeed. A Padawan succeeded. Yeah.
It is truly the most badass thing. And after the emotional, just that whole thing, can you put yourself in his shoes and do the same? I couldn't. There's no way.
Well, I feel like just getting like knocked in the face and like falling into the reactor shaft is the thing that suddenly made his brain like snap into place and be like, I need to calm down.
Yes.
Because it's like I
need to center myself.
Yes.
And it was a giant lesson for him for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
On how to continue to defeat opponents.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm. It was, yeah. Oh, you're so right. You're so right. And like, you see that in the last duel between him and Maul. Because he uses that knowledge against Maul because he's changed and he's grown, whereas Maul has not. Maul is the same.
Yep.
He's using the same fucking technique. He hasn't changed anything.
Nope.
Yeah.
You can die and come back due to your anger and not learn anything? Seriously, Maul? Seriously.
He's so single-tracked mind, though. Like, he just can't help himself.
We always talk about how, like, cerebral he is and what a thinker he is and how smart and tactful Maul is. And yet, he didn't learn anything. And Obi-Wan continues to morph and grow and he killed him twice.
You're making such a good point. And like, there are so many moments where Obi-Wan could have become that way. You know, like, could have gotten stuck in a cycle, in a rut. And I'm sure we'll see that he was really at risk of that happening with, you know, being on Tatooine after Anakin. But something in the show is going to make it so that he doesn't end up in that dark place forever. You know, it's so interesting. But, like, those moves, dude, he's fighting so fast.
So good. It's so good. The whole lightsaber duel, even when Qui-Gon is, you know, they're all fighting each other.
Yeah.
You know, it's the first time we see a double-edged lightsaber, right?
Oh, yeah, I guess that is.
They have to deal with that.
People shit themselves watching Phantom Menace the first time for many reasons, but that was one of the positive reasons.
I was very young, but I remember it, and I was like, that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
But it did. Pretty sure Maul said the same thing to Obi-Wan when he jumped out of that tunnel or leapt out of the shaft there and sliced him in half. He looked down, he's like, that's not supposed to happen.
He was like, and then boom. I still laugh every time Maul falls down the reactor shaft and his body splits apart, and you see his face for 1 second, and it's so ridiculous. It's so not effective. It's hilarious, which it shouldn't be funny.
It shouldn't be.
But it is.
It is, and that's why we love it.
So funny.
We got that face because Obi-Wan decided to calm down, collect himself, and leap out of... Is it a garbage chute? What chute is that? Air shaft?
It's like a reactor shaft, I think.
Reactor shaft. Okay, garbage chute. Well, it turns into a garbage chute when Maul falls down it.
Actually, he does fall into a garbage truck. He's taken to a garbage planet, so maybe it is a garbage chute. You could be right.
I mean, it can be more than one thing. It is when he falls down it. That's what I'm saying. The garbage piece of shit.
That's when it becomes a garbage chute. Yeah.
That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah. Impressive shit.
There's a lot going on for him in that moment to like calm down, also physically do the flip while getting the lightsaber, and also making sure he doesn't get his arms and legs cut off by Maul while he's doing the flip.
Right. There's nothing better than watching him overcome everything and then kill Maul.
Yeah. And I do love
It's pretty damn good.
The lip snarl thing. I love that.
I know, it's so good.
It's really odd.
We need more.
I know. I guess that was Ewan McGregor did that, and then they liked it so much they kept it in. It wasn't like in the script, but yeah, I like that.
He's so young.
I know.
God,
he's so baby faced.
Baby faced with that short hair And it's just like, now you see him and he's full-blown adult, matured man. Like,
He's come
and
full
both are hot.
circle. Yeah, I'll take any of it. It's fine. I'll even take an
not.
animated version. I don't care.
No, we're here for the animation. Come on now. Shit's hot.
We've said it many times. Whoever came up with the actual design for animated Obi-Wan just understood. They understood the assignment. Isn't that the thing everyone is saying nowadays?
Totally. Good list.
Yeah, that was great. I've been so excited to do this ever since you mentioned it.
I know, me too. Of course, we had some overlaps, but now you have honorable mentions. I don't, so I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this.
I'm sure you'll agree with pretty much all of these. The first one I have is him kicking Pre Vizsla's ass in
Oh my God.
The Mandalorian.
How did I not think of that one? Ooh, yes, that's a good one.
He
That's a
manages
good one.
that
Yes.
guy like he is on the defense. He never attacks. He just deflects everything, and it's just kind of like he does get a few like punches thrown at him, but otherwise he just kind of like owns that entire situation, which I thought was pretty funny because
He just allows Vizsla to do that so he doesn't feel completely mortified at the end of that.
doesn't
I'll let you
work.
punch me a few times just so I look good in front of my girlfriend, but otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Pre Vizsla just lives in shame the rest of his life.
I would.
Yeah. And I said pretty much anytime he fights Grievous because
Oh, of course. Well,
That's
we
always
love Grievous
fun.
in this house. And it's great to see him just get so flustered and then crawl away on all six or whatever, how many legs he has, 4, 6, 8, whatever he uses.
his
And-
metal scorpion body.
Yeah, his metal scorpion body, spider mode.
Horrific.
I don't understand the point of that, but it's fun whenever Obi-Wan forces him into just literally crawling away in shame and defeat.
Yeah.
It happens so much. I love every single time it happens.
It's so great. And then I do like when Obi-Wan kicks him and it's just like, oh, what have I done?
Yeah, why would you do that?
It's like I've broken my foot.
Hurts me to think about.
I kind of relate though. I feel like I would do that because I'm an idiot.
You probably try. Like anyone would try and then be like, oh, wait, right. Yeah, he's all metal.
He's
Never mind.
a giant.
I'd probably try and bitch slap him and then my hand would be like, ow.
You break all your
man.
fingers.
Yeah.
I wish they had somebody punch him like right in the faceplate and realize that
It seems like an Anakin thing.
yeah, it does. But
You know,
they didn't meet in Clone Wars.
I know, which is pretty genius on, Filoni and company's part.
Yeah.
Because they know going into Revenge of the Sith they've never met. So they literally did not. They kept them apart the entire 7 seasons of Clone Wars. I love that.
It's really impressive that they like stuck to their guns on that.
Yeah.
Oh, the Citadel was one like basically
listen.
the whole thing.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1 could have been all moments from the Citadel arc alone.
That's true. We should do a Citadel series.
Well, we're going to do this. Let's do that.
That'd
Let's
be
do that.
fun.
That would be intense.
That'd be really entertaining. There's a
There's
lot.
so much to break down.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about there because it's really not for kids.
No, and we have a lot of drama with Ahsoka. We have a lot of drama with Anakin, and we meet Tarkin and
Oh yeah, Tarkin. Yeah.
poor little what's his name who dies? What's his name? Ethan?
Oh,
No,
Evan Peel.
Evan. It's such a pedestrian name. Evan.
Mr. Evan Peel.
Mr. Evan Peel.
I know, he's like fucking Russian mobster on a motorcycle though. He's got like one
I love
eye
it.
and
Yeah, it's great. I want to know his bar stories, his bar fight stories.
I know.
You know he has one.
He's like if Yoda
little
wasn't
bastard.
green.
Yes.
He gotta look like Master Peel.
And then of course Obi-Wan and the clones, and oh my god, there's so much. And the lead guy who like runs the Citadel,
Oh yeah,
what's his name? I can't even remember. but
Sopek.
He's a trip.
I know
Oh.
his name is something Sopek. I can't remember his first name, but he's also voiced by James Arnold Taylor, and he's a mix of Al Pacino and Christopher Walken.
Now there's a
Which
combo.
once you hear that, you know that. It's really hard to like unhear it when you're watching this.
It's so good. I love it so much.
So great. Oh my god. I like the sequence too where he fights the Anubas. You know, those big like wolf dogs that attack them. Him and Anakin.
Oh yeah, yes.
Both him and
Yes,
Anakin
yeah.
are so extra in that fight. There's like
They
lots
really
of
are.
flipping and acrobatics going on. It's really entertaining. I love that.
I love watching it that whole arc. We'll do a whole thing on that arc.
That would
It's
be
great.
so fun. Because you and we used to watch that all the time when we do our Netflix
All the time.
parties.
Oh yeah, that one's a classic between you and I.
Yeah, there's a lot of rewinding.
There's so much greatness in it.
And everyone looks so good.
So good.
They're all in their like final design phase. So like Ahsoka's costume is really cool. And
That's what I thought of first too.
yeah, she's got they finally got her out of a fucking tube top and put her in a real outfit.
We'll talk about costumes on an episode.
We should just talk about Ahsoka's costumes because she's gone through so many stages.
Well, and now with her show coming up and her latest designs, which I do love.
Oh, I
it's
love
very
it.
bohemian.
I know, she's got the like MC Hammer pants.
Ow! The parachute pants.
Parachute pants.
Look, she had to wear tights her whole life, and she got to an age where she's like, you know what, I'm done. I'm putting on the sweatpants, just like the rest of us.
I was gonna say, girl, we all get there.
We get it.
Especially
Leggings are comfortable.
since COVID. We're all in pajamas all
We're
the time.
all in loose-fitting clothes. We got you, Ahsoka. We get you.
The only other honorable mention I have, besides the Attack of the Clones that you mentioned, was the Reiko Hardin stuff.
Oh, that whole thing is a display of his quick thinking, strategic thinking, his ability to pretend to be a whole other person. Like,
Yeah.
killing people as this whole other person.
Yeah. Having to like hide his compassion, which I actually see a lot of like parallels that we might see in the
Probably,
Kenobi series.
yeah,
'Cause
definitely.
he couldn't show that he was a Jedi and he had to like fight off people without using the Force. And which again, as we said in our Reiko Hardin episode, like just goes to show what a fucking ruthless bastard he could be if he wanted to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Sith Obi-Wan is just creeping under the surface.
Excellent. Well, that was fun, badass moments. I really enjoyed this conversation.
I did too. That was great. You know what? We could do a whole nother list, and we will revisit this in the future.
Should just do badass moments from the Kenobi series.
Okay.
Meet us back here soon. So what do you guys think? What is your top badass Obi-Wan Kenobi moment from any part of Star Wars ever?
Tell us. We want to know. It's probably on our list.
Bro-
But if it isn't, we want to know even more.
Yeah, seriously. Is there one that you have that we didn't mention? Because maybe we need to rewatch that moment.
Yes, we definitely want to rewatch that moment. Next week, you know what time it is next week, folks. Next week is our review of episode 1 and episode 2 of the Kenobi series right here on Most Things Kenobi. It's going to be great. It's going to be probably longer than usual because we're doing 2 episodes in one.
Yeah.
It's going to be crazy. We can't wait. We hope you'll join us because this is going to... We're on the precipice, people.
I know.
We're here. We've made it.
This is the thing we've all been waiting for. Also, weird but amazing, it's also our 1-year anniversary.
Now, we did not plan this, obviously, but damn if the planets of the galaxy did not align, right?
Right, it's crazy, because this is what we recorded now is 52, which means the next episode is our 1-year anniversary. It's pretty
Amazing.
freaking amazing timing. It's not a coincidence. The universe meant this to happen.
Yes. Yes, the Force understands. So join us for our 1-year anniversary and the beginning of the Kenobi series.
Thank you so much for joining us here on the Most Things Kenobi podcast. If you would like to support us, you can do so on Patreon. And as always, follow us on Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast player. If you enjoy our podcast, feel free to rate us on Spotify and Apple. And if you need just one place to find all of these things, head over to mostthingskenobi.com.
So until next time, my space twin, may the Force be with you.
Always.